everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday night. We're glad you joined us right here in the Cantina. Pull up a chair, have a drink, and let's talk about some Star Wars. I am your host, David. We welcome you again. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
Doing well.
Awesome. And Cam, of course, from Cam and Focus. Cam is with us tonight.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Wonderful. Cam, I don't know if you noticed, but in that, I don't know how it just was, but when it popped up the screen names on all of our names, the little graphic that's behind it has your name underlined for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too, but I didn't say anything about it because I didn't think it was.
What it is. It was like, this is the best right here. We're underlining emphasis. Also with us tonight is Andrew. Andrew, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good.
Very cool. So
we're almost all Yoda themed or Baby Yoda themed tonight. Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, they're wearing their Baby Yoda shirts, and I have my Baby Yoda coffee mug.
Gotcha.
Cam's the odd man out. That's why your name was underlined. Odd man out.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Speaking of Cam, I was thinking of you the other day because I was watching. Oh gosh, what was I watching? I saw an ad for. I can't even think of his name now. Short Round.
Oh, Ke Huy Quan.
Ke Huy Quan. Okay, so I saw his new movie that's coming out, where he's like a John Wick kind of character, I guess, where he's like. He's like a real estate agent, and people from his past are coming back to haunt him. And but I had no idea he was a fight coordinator. I didn't even know he was in. I still haven't seen everything.
He did some of the early X-Men movies. He did
he did the fight coordinator. Yeah, but he was in everything. Was he in Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He's one of the main stars. So. Yeah, he dropped out of acting for a while, for like 3 decades actually, and focused on just doing like stunt coordination and stuff like that. And when you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, if you do ever watch it, like that martial arts background really shines through.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
If it weren't for Top Gun Maverick, that's my favorite movie of 22.
Is that right?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Then it probably is my favorite movie of 22 because Top Gun Maverick is like the worst.
Oh God, here we go.
Nope, not starting.
I didn't mean to start anything.
Andrew started it. He brought it up. I wasn't even going to go there, but
Andrew was just like, I know what'll get under his skin.
I know
exactly.
I'd rather watch the Eternals than that. I'd rather watch Thor: Love and Thunder than Top Gun Maverick. I'd rather watch. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I'd rather watch Leonard Part 6 or The Adventures.
I don't even know what that is.
Nash.
Oh, not Pluto Nash. Oh God.
Those were movies.
Sounds like real cinema.
Those were Pluto Nash was a movie with Eddie Murphy in it, and Leonard Part 6 was Bill Cosby, and they were both movies that are considered like some of the worst ever made.
They sound like the worst ever made.
Yeah. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. It was Pluto Nash, though. That one was so bad it was almost funny. So it was worth watching, if anything, for the laugh. But anyway, we're not talking about Pluto Nash. We're talking about a different sci-fi series. We're talking about Star Wars. So tonight, we're talking about everybody's. You love to hate him, and you hate to love him. Everyone's favorite pirate, Hondo.
Yay. I love that guy.
And I revisited a bunch of the episodes from the Clone Wars. I didn't really watch. I mean, Rebels was on my list of things to watch, and I just didn't get around to it because I was enjoying the Clone. In fact, the Clone Wars, I was watching some of the episodes with him in it, and I was like, man, this really is. And I'd watched like 2 or 3 episodes past that, thinking, oh, I need to be watching Hondo episodes. I was just getting into the Clone Wars, and I was like, man, this is so good. It was so. It was just good. Other than Ahsoka, there were a few problems I had with one of the Hondo episodes, but other than that, it was.
I mean, in general, the Clone Wars is one of those shows that has really only gotten better with time.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, thank you for bringing this up. I was going to bring this up. It's in my notes somewhere. But yes, Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings does the voice of Hondo. And if you don't know who Jim Cummings is,
where have you been?
Yeah, because he's like the voice of everything. He's like a modern day Mel Blanc.
He's Pooh Bear and Tigger.
He is
that's
Darkwing
right.
Duck. He's done several voices across the DuckTales universe. DuckTales and all of those Disney shows, Tailspin, Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, Cam, when you
get dangerous.
When you just mentioned real quick, just before I forget, that how Clone Wars gets better with time, I was watching this clip from Katie Sackhoff's show that she does, and she had Sam Witwer on for an episode, and he was talking about how when Clone Wars was on, it did not have the appreciation that it does now, where it was not watched the same way. And you know, it was a show that was, you know, canceled like one time or two times, something like that. And he said that it's only within the last few years, you know, that people have more, it's been on more and more people's radar, and more people appreciate it for what it is. I mean, it does have its rough moments, but it also has
that's
its
just
very
Star
high
Wars,
moments.
though. I mean,
exactly.
Star Wars
any
is always
show.
a whole bunch of this.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, one of the gosh, it was season 3. I think it was one of the ones I was just watching. It was the lightsaber episodes with Hondo where he's hunting the kyber crystals. And I'm scrolling down through the episodes trying to find it. And the episodes that are like right after that one are those god awful droid in the void episodes that are just like, and there's like 4 or 5 of them. It was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean,
I got done with those Hondo episodes. I'm like, all right, what's next? Because I'm not watching that one again.
I mean, like I said, Star Wars is a whole bunch of this, and those droid episodes are right here.
Yeah. Debbie knows what I'm talking about.
Those are
her favorite episodes too. But we first meet Hondo. Let's talk about Hondo because you love to love him. And we first meet him. He's captured Dooku. Now he never really says Dooku crash lands on his planet, and it never really says how he catches him. He has him imprisoned, and this was the thing that bothered me about this series was too that hi Garrett. Yes, droids' lives do matter, but not in those episodes. Those were horrible. It never really showed how he caught Dooku, and at the end of the episode, it shows Anakin and Obi-Wan in the bar, and they've switched out the drinks that have the knockout whatever in them, and they're having a drink, and then in the next episode, they wake up and they're knocked out, and it was like, did I miss something? What happened here?
Yeah, there's a bit of info missing.
Yeah. I was like, we could have at least used some kind of exposition somewhere to say, hey, this is how we did it. But, and again, it was like the first season. So you're dealing with a show that's still trying to find its footing.
Yeah. I mean, it was still in its infancy, and the first season is definitely evidence of, you know, like you said, a show trying to find its footing. And that's the case with a lot of shows, especially, you know, as they run for season after season after season.
And that's why I always say, unless it's like god awful, give a show more than a season to find its footing. You know, can't just cancel something after a season.
Rolled a nat 1. There we go.
That's what it was. Awesome. But I agree with you. If you've got a show that's run for more than 2 seasons, it's probably a decent show, and you're probably not going to enjoy the first 2 seasons as you will have enjoyed later seasons. And I think the same holds true with the Clone Wars. I mean, I'm glad they kept it up because, let's face it, if it had gone, I concur. Although, I will say this. On Firefly, you've got a whole ship of people that are trying to be Han Solo, and you can't have a whole ship of Han Solos. I'm sorry.
With the Clone Wars specifically, I definitely am grateful that they were able to see the series through to the end, because if the show had just gotten canceled after, the second season, third season, whatever, that really awkward first season and that first movie would be all that they would remember about the show.
Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't, I don't think it would have quite the following that it does now. And in fact, it may not have, because, they canceled it after Disney acquired Star Wars, or Lucasfilm, I should say. So, so for them to, and up until then, it was all done it was Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers, I believe, was the ones.
I think so.
Putting it out.
Because it had a season on Netflix, right?
It did. It actually had the first, I think, 3 or 4 seasons on Netflix.
Now, yes. Now, the first 3 or 4 seasons actually premiered Cartoon Network. That was all Cartoon Network. Now, when it started going into syndication and whatnot, and you had those first 3 or 4 seasons, yes, they started doing them on Netflix. And I think the hidden season 6, which never really aired on Cartoon Network, I think that's where it premiered.
The Lost Missions.
The Lost Missions.
Yeah.
Because you had
because it was deemed too dark to be a children's show, which really did get dark.
They had made the episodes for season 6, but then Disney acquired, and they said, "Okay, stop." And they said, "Okay, well, can we release at least DVD, Blu-rays, and Netflix?" I think ran it for a little while as well. Yes, to where you could go watch the Lost Missions, and now everything's on Disney Plus. So. And thank God, because then we got the Siege of Mandalore and some of quite possibly the greatest writing in Star Wars.
The good stuff.
Ever. So. Scarif is on. He watched Serenity and wasn't too crazy about Firefly.
A weirdo.
That's what he said. He said weird, right?
Well, in a way, I'm kind of in the same boat, because I saw Serenity before I watched Firefly, because at the time I didn't know, and I'm watching Serenity. I'm like, what's going on? Like, who are these people?
You didn't care. You didn't care because you didn't because the characters. You didn't know who the characters were. Yeah. You didn't have that wonderful 2 seasons of character building and interaction. Yeah. So, but Hondo, we meet him for the first time. He's working both sides of the Clone Wars,
as he does.
Obviously, he's a pirate. When he's not loyal to one side or the other. He's just kind of in it for himself. In fact, the episodes where he's after the Kyber crystals, I think he says they're worth a lot of money, and you know me, I like to be rich.
Yeah. If there's ever a person you can rely on to tell it like it is, it's Hondo.
Yeah. What else? He's got his crew. See, in Rebels, he doesn't really have a crew.
No, he has. What's the name of that Ugnaught that's with him? I can't remember. Andrew, quick, look it up.
What?
What was the name of Hondo's Ugnaught minion in Rebels? The one that he kept practically abusing.
Yes, he does have a monkey. You are correct. Instead of a parrot.
Ugnaughts came of Melch.
Melch
sounds familiar.
That's what I'm seeing here.
There's Melch, but I didn't know. I thought Melch was a different species. I could be wrong.
see.
Yeah,
One of the
I
other-
don't remember.
One of the other episodes, it was just a standalone episode that he popped up in, was Bounty Hunters, which
Mm.
was it was a Three Amigos, Magnificent Seven. What else? Seven Samurai was one of them. What else?
Basically,
all-
anything that has a number in the title.
yeah, and I think they even alluded to that because he says they say, okay, well, they've got the bounty hunters there with them. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka have all crashed, and he says, oh, now there's 7 of you. That's even more to fend off the pirates. And I was like, yeah, let's not be too obvious about this, Filoni. Come on. But Dave Filoni actually voiced one of the bounty hunters too, even though he didn't say much. Embo, the one with the hat.
The one that looks like a samurai.
Yeah,
That's always been what I thought of every time I saw that character. I was like, he looks like a traditional samurai. You know, he's got like the robes, he's got the what looks to be, you know, a straw hat.
right. Hondo's a great character. You know what? You and me both. I honestly was hoping we were going to see him in Ahsoka. That would have made my.
What about Skeleton Crew? He could show up.
Maybe.
When do we have any?
Potentially.
When does Skeleton Crew take place?
It's
though?
I know it's in the
It's in the Mandoverse?
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's after
Return of the Jedi.
After Return of the Jedi. So yeah.
Because I saw a thing the other day about like the season placements of how like Ahsoka's during Mando season 3, and there was a whole timeline of everything. But yeah, it's in there.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm starting to feel like Deadpool. These timelines are so confusing.
They are. They are.
Now, if it,
McAvoy.
yeah. now, if we did get Hondo in live action, do you think it would be better to have Jim Cummings be the voice and the body, or just the voice and
For
have
sure
someone else
voice.
be a,
I don't
be a
think
body?
he has the body for it.
I
No?
think for sure. Yeah.
No. I think he's, Hondo's kind of slim and skinny, and Cummings is kind of.
I could be Hondo.
His wife is a darn good cook. Let's just say that.
That's funny.
No, that's funny right there.
No, I think they did the same thing with Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett, because didn't they have the original actor dub his voice, but someone else was doing the body?
And see, I would have absolutely no problem with that. I mean, God knows they've done it throughout the Mandoverse. I mean,
yeah, they did it with Maul.
Well, they did it with Maul. They did it with the Mandalorian with Din Djarin. Because how many times was it somebody else in that suit? And
Pedro's got the easiest job as Mando. I mean,
Well, it's a good way to save budget. Just have your main character wear a mask all the time and never have them present on set.
Yeah, that's true. He could be filming something else and then record a couple lines, and then
we just need you to come in for voiceover work. That's it.
Yeah, Dave Filoni just calls up Pedro Pascal and says, "Hey, look, this scene wasn't done very well. Could you just re-record this line in your phone and send it to me real quick?"
Yeah.
We know you're filming Fantastic Four. We need you for the Mando movie. Come on.
Even with like you said, with technology being what it is today, just phone it in. Just phone it in.
Literally phone it in.
Literally. But I'm in England right now. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Just call us. We'll be good. Or go to a recording studio over there, record it, and then email us the MP3 of whatever it is you recorded.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, if it's a little bit distorted, that's okay. You're still wearing the helmet,
we're gonna
so
distort it anyway.
Works.
So
Pascal is really stretching himself thin between.
Well, that and what else?
Gladiator.
Gladiator, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but I have heard it's decent.
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Let me know, because I'm really etchy about it just because I like the first one so much. And honestly too, I told Luke this when we went to go see Venom. Every trailer that we saw, every poster that we saw, everything that we saw in that theater was all part 2, part 3, it was all sequels. And I was like, come on. Oh, well,
Or
Wicked.
prequels.
Wicked.
Yeah.
And, Wicked's kind of that's
Prequel.
again, it's a
Prequel.
prequel. So it's
Yeah.
like,
And even Wicked is a part 1. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Exactly.
yeah, because
You know, the funny thing is,
the second one.
none of the marketing has ever said part 1. But you got to find that out through people that online
That know the story. Yeah.
Yeah, or 2. Yeah. So, but I've heard Wicked is really good, so I might want to go see that.
I've heard good things about it, but I'm not really into musicals. I mean,
I was gonna say,
Right,
there's nothing
yeah,
really
and see,
about musicals that
that's-
I get excited for.
Exactly, same here. But I've heard from people too that don't like musicals, and I've said it's good. So it makes me somewhat interested in at some point seeing it, whether the theater or getting it on
I
Blu-ray.
enjoy
I don't
It's
know.
like 2 hours and 41 minutes.
It's a long movie.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh Lord.
Yeah,
See,
it's almost as long as Lord of the Rings.
See, I
Yeah.
enjoy musicals. I really like it. Musicals from time to time,
Yeah,
but like that one, it doesn't appeal to me.
give me some Mamma Mia. There you go.
No,
God, I despise that movie.
no.
Ugh.
Although I'd rather watch Mamma Mia than a Tom Cruise movie, so go there. I'll still watch Mamma Mia over Top Gun Maverick.
God damn it, Andrew! He just had to circle back around on that one with you.
I know.
But
Jeez.
and this one gets a lot of Greatest Showman. You know, my wife and Luke, they loved that. They thought that movie was great, and I was just like,
It is. It's a good movie.
I liked Moulin Rouge. I like that one with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor, but it's kind of hit or miss with a musical for me. So
Yeah, same here.
and that one doesn't appeal to me. So
For me, this is what a musical should do. The songs should add to the story, not take you out. You know, they should be telling the story. So,
Yeah. See, there's a fine line between musicals with songs that tell you the story and musicals with songs that tell you how the character's feeling.
True. Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah.
that there needs to be a good balance of both of those things. Like, first one that comes to example is Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
That was a one. It didn't have very much music, but the first song in there, I forget what it's called, but when will my reflection show? Blah blah blah. I mean, that tells you simultaneously where she is in the story, where she is in her culture, and where she is emotionally. So that's 3 bases you're covering right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Hondo.
I'd love to see a musical with Hondo.
Now that we've thoroughly chased that rabbit. We had just kind of a one-off episode with Aura Singh and Boba Fett, and they're trying to lure Mace Windu into a trap, and Plo Koon and Ahsoka go to spring the trap, and we find out that Hondo has been romantically involved with Aura Singh at some point.
That's a little hard to imagine.
But this kind of showed an interesting side of Hondo, because there was a scene toward the end, and Aura Singh was escaping, and Ahsoka was chasing after her. One of Hondo's guys got up to go chase Ahsoka, and he stopped him. He's like, no, let him duke it out. And then Plo Koon brings Boba to Hondo, and he's like, we don't know where the hostages are, and he won't tell us. He's not talking. And then he talks to Boba, and he's like, "Look, you got to tell them where they are. It's the honorable thing to do. It's what your father would have wanted." And so he kind of, again, playing both sides. You love him and you hate him, kind of thing. But it showed a different side of him to where I don't know if it was I'm going to do this despite, or to hurt Aura because I don't want anything to do with her, or I'm going to do this to, I don't know. I'm going to do this because it's the right thing to do. So, but again, a different side of it's not. He's not quite the Joker / I'm only in it for myself kind of thing. It expands on his character. How about that?
It does, and him playing both sides is kind of. I mean, if somehow, some way, it almost always ends up helping the heroes in the end. I really don't know how he does that, but it's like he's does
like the Penguin
wrong
almost,
and still gets the right answer.
Yeah.
He's
like one of those kids that fills.
He's on your side until he isn't. You know.
Yeah. And what we really saw that kind of shine through with his interactions with Ezra in Rebels, because I mean
Jabba.
Yeah, exactly. You lied to me?
I knew you.
I liked you.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah. Well, and then later on in the series, whenever I forget what the exact situation is, but Ezra's in trouble, and they recruit Hondo to help them rescue Ezra, and he says, "There's nothing I wouldn't do for that boy." I mean, while it's still kind of said in the same tone of voice he usually speaks, and you can tell that's one of the few genuine things he's actually said.
Yeah. And again, you can always he's got this tone in his voice that you can tell when he's just talking and he's trying to get out of a jam, or he's trying to create a jam or whatever, or when he's really being, and that's what the tone that he used with Boba, and he's like, "Look, you got to tell him because it's the honorable thing to do." It's just like, okay, I'm all seriousness here. This is something that's meaningful. So, and then in turn, I'm sure that helped shape Boba's future in a sense too. So, and again, Daniel Logan, God bless him.
Daniel Logan, that was his name. When we were when you were talking about it earlier, I was thinking to myself, what the hell was that kid's name? And my brain kept on saying Daniel Craig, and I was like, no.
different Daniel.
Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper.
Daniel Craig was James Bond, but yes,
Daniel Craig was many things.
Yeah,
he's
he's about to be he's going to be in a DC movie. Do y'all see that announcement?
No, I hadn't.
It's Sergeant something. I had never heard of the character.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited for that. I think he'll play that well.
He's in all the next Knives Out movie.
I was going to say he's in all those Knives Out movies, and those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you're right, Debbie. He was
Sorry, David. Tom Cruise is going to be in the third Knives Out, so you're going to have to.
Is he?
Is he really?
I'm just messing with you. Oh. No, I'm messing with him. Like, he's got to watch a movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you had me convinced. I was like, really? I hadn't heard that before.
Cam's like, oh, okay. David's like, oop, guess I'm missing this one. What was the next one? Bounty Hunters. Oh, and then we get into the one with where he's got the kids and he's after the Kyber crystals. And this was one of the arcs of the Clone Wars that I really had issue with. And I think it had to do with Ahsoka taking the younglings to go find their crystals. I mean, at this point, you're in season 3, I think.
I think it was season 3. Yeah. Ahsoka
is still a Padawan, but she's in charge of taking younglings to. This ultimate, not ultimate, but this big test, and she's in charge of these younglings. And I'm looking at it going, I don't see Ahsoka. I don't see a Padawan, not necessarily just Ahsoka, but I don't see a Padawan being in charge of this.
No.
You know, a knight or a master, okay, fine, because that's that's a teacher and that's somebody who's done this and who's
But they're all about the war.
I don't know.
That's how thin they were
Ahsoka
stretched.
should have been at the war too. So she should have been with her master.
See, to me, I feel like a good analogy for the similarity of that situation to something else would be like, okay, the parents are at work, so how about this 11-year-old girl take her 4 younger siblings to the store?
Yeah, it didn't.
Believe me, I've had to do that.
We're
In
not
my
talking about you,
mind-
Andrew.
Yeah, in my mind, it didn't work. I mean, yeah, okay. Generation X, yeah, that probably would have happened, like you said. The 11-year-old the kids. I get that, but no. But in all seriousness, it's just in my mind. That's not
Practical.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Although we did get now I'm gonna what's the droid's name? Help me. He was in the Ahsoka series.
Hugh
Oh,
or
Hugh Wang.
Hugh
Hugh
Wang.
Wang.
Hugh Wang.
Hugh Wang.
Yeah. And we
Very-
get him for the first time, and that was great.
Very interesting name for a droid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's better than R2E.
R2E. Or Sky Guy. Or Snips.
Oh gosh. Master.
I'm just glad that Ahsoka didn't get her hands on C-3PO and call him 3P.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
I got 2 face palms at once. Yes.
Because I could see her doing that. Oh, jeez. I imagine Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, like, hey, 3P.
Oh.
Oh, it just sounds bad
even
coming
do
out of my
that.
mouth. It's man.
I want someone to go back and edit the scene from the Ahsoka series where she meets Anakin in the world between worlds, and she's like, "Sky Guy."
Oh gosh. Oh man.
That 3P sounds like that almost sounds dirty.
Yeah,
It
it
sounds like
does.
oh, I
Sounds
saw
like
it's
some-
3P.
Meanwhile, the parents are looking at each other like, "Are we sure this is a kids show?"
What?
Right. That's the moment your parents walk in. You know, it's like the anime I watch and then the anime my parents see me watch. You know, two different things. So.
But yes, again, he's got these, and honestly, too, looking back, and I haven't watched the Clone Wars in a minute, and for some reason, I kept thinking to myself, well, this isn't right, because I honestly, and maybe it's a Mandela effect with me, but I honestly thought it was Cad Bane that was after him, that was after the Kyber crystals, and he was the one chasing the kids,
Wasn't he?
and no, it was Hondo, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I would have swore it was Cad Bane, but
Well, there
again-
is an episode where isn't Cad Bane helping to steal the Jedi babies?
yeah,
Or
and
the
I think,
Emperor.
and that was actually at the first of
That was Bad Batch.
of that season, of the third season, I believe.
Oh, didn't he do that in Bad Batch too? Cad Bane?
Well, in Bad Batch, he was
Yeah,
hunting,
well, he was going after Omega,
Omega,
and he
So-
actually like took because Ming-Na Wen. No, I'm sorry, that's actress. Fennec.
Fennec.
Fennec Shan.
was hired, yeah, to get her, and actually does for a little bit, and then the Bad Batch come and get her back.
He was in. Let's see. Hondo did. I'm looking at my notes here. The Battle of Onderon had a hand in that. Shipping illegal weapons. The Younglings.
And then we get into Hondo double crossing Maul of all people.
Yeah, Maul and Savage.
Mm-hmm. That was such a good group of episodes. I can see steam coming out of Dave's ears.
Yep. No, I'm looking. You're right. It was a great group of episodes. He's got this strange connection. He's almost like the anti-Maul, to where he's got this. You've got Kenobi, and then you've got Kenobi, my friend.
Yeah. He uses the term friend loosely.
Yeah. But yeah, he really enjoys hooking up and linking up with. I say hooking up, not like that. Linking up with Kenobi.
What does that mean?
Well, what happens in Star Wars stays in Star Wars.
Oh, you know what I just did? I just put a picture in somebody's mind, and they're going to create some kind of fan art where it's
Oh gosh.
Rule 34.
Oh man.
Hondo is a good guy, but he's also a bad guy too. He's an anti-hero. Somebody is texting me. Oh. In-laws.
You missed Debbie waving at you, David.
Oh,
All right.
sorry. Hi, Debbie. Oh, that means she's gonna do it. Oh, we should get AI to do it.
Oh, that would look so distorted.
Just get an AI generator.
You know how bad it is with like arms.
Hondo and
stuff.
Obi-Wan and
I don't know.
Weaving.
So, well, we can let somebody else do that. I really don't feel like paying for not safe for work AI generated images.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on enough lists as it is with how many times I get.
And I have a
Facebook.
future at stake. All right, I can't be.
yeah, that's
associated with
right.
that, you know.
Yeah, well, your mom monitors your Wi-Fi, so I mean,
Not on incognito mode.
Well, and plus two, I mean, look at him now. He's still house sitting, so he's not even on his Wi-Fi. So all good.
Yeah, your cell phone data provider is going to give you a call and be like, "Is there something you want to tell us?"
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. Oh man.
So let's pose this question then, and Debbie, we'll start with you. Favorite Hondo moment. What is your favorite Hondo? And this can be from anything.
Well,
Debbie's looking at her notes.
well, yes, I have 4 pages of notes.
Egads.
Gee.
I don't have any one particular moment. I love it anytime he interacts with Kenobi and Anakin, and I really love it when he is with Ezra. Anytime he is with Ezra, because there's such a connection there, and he is very protective of Ezra.
Jabba.
Yeah. I feel like he sees Ezra almost as like a kindred spirit. I think he sees a lot in common between the two of them.
I agree with you to some degree, but I also look at it as, and maybe this is just me because, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't go back and revisit the Rebels episodes that he's in, but just based on what I can remember, it's almost like he doesn't have a crew, and Ezra has given him the time of day. So now Ezra's all he's got in the world, basically, or the galaxy, basically, and it's
besides the Ugnaught.
Yeah, besides the Ugnaught. The Ugnaught's the Ugnaught. So this is somebody that I can relate to, and that is he'll be there for me and I can be there for him, kind of thing. So yes, the kindred spirit. So because because he is deep down. I think deep down he is a good guy.
Yeah,
A
I'd
good
agree
guy
with
in the
that.
wrong profession.
There you go. That's a
No,
good way to put it.
He's like
See,
Johnny.
I surprise myself sometimes.
I mean, he's a pirate. He's like Jack Sparrow. You know, he's a good guy, but he's just kind of out for himself. And if you happen to be on his good side, he's a great guy. And if he happens to be against you, well,
That's all she wrote.
he can come off as kind of a jerk. So
He might literally throw the Ugnaught at you.
Yeah.
Cam, favorite Hondo moment?
Well, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is, you know, the one that I always keep coming back to, which is, you know, you lied to me. I knew I liked you, because that's such a Hondo thing to say. Well, like that one line right there, I feel like really encapsulates the majority of what his character is.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I feel like his interplay with Obi-Wan is really such a highlight of the Clone Wars series, because half the time you don't know whether he's being genuine with Obi-Wan or if he just enjoys giving him a hard time. And seeing how they work together by not working together, I think is just great. And especially as I had said earlier with how Hondo, of all the people in the galaxy to piss off, he double crossed Maul and Savage. That's just Hondo. I love it.
Yeah. So, I can't remember where I heard that he'd tug on the devil's tail just for a laugh. Something along that line. That might have been from Moby Dick. Anyway, Andrew, favorite Hondo moment?
Yeah, so of course I get to follow Cam after that detailed answer. But I was thinking I was not nearly as good as that. I was going to
Cam's all
say,
heartfelt.
yeah,
See, this is why I'm here and you're there.
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't quite done enough to get promoted yet. I mean, I probably just similar to Debbie. You know, his moments with Ezra are great. Those are always fun. I can't think of a specific moment off the top of my head. Let's probably go with that.
I like him because he's a pirate. I love I'm kind of on a pirate kick these days, and so Hondo was just like woohoo.
Well, I liked whenever Ezra tried to convince Hondo that he was Lando Calrissian, and
oh yeah, and then Lando, yeah,
and then they outsmarted what the hell was that orange guy's name? Morgan, as Morgan. That was his name. Yeah, I loved the camaraderie.
He was Jabba and Lando.
Yes. Yeah, he was also Brom Titus, Commander Maylurun. Who else was he? I think there was one more in there somewhere. Dev Morgan.
Is that the
Cam's
one?
Seen Rebels a few times, so
yeah. Is that the one he was when he was? What name did he use at the Academy when he was at the Imperial Academy?
Dev Morgan.
That was the Morgan one.
Yeah.
The Captain Morgan.
Wouldn't mind some of that.
Debbie, what's in your notes that we didn't go over?
She's got 4 pages, so I'm guessing.
She's looking at it, it's like we only covered 1 page.
Debbie has talking points just in case we run out. That's the thing.
Oh man.
What did you want to talk about, Debbie?
Well, it don't matter.
It does. We like your opinion.
Now, I did not know this, but I guess, and I think this is a comic novel, but it's a tie-in to Galaxy's Edge. It explains why he's there, because he does have an animatronic there with the Falcon.
That's the hang on, it's a book, and
it's Pirate's Price.
Is that it? Okay, that's not the book I was thinking of then, but okay.
Well, I think there was,
because there was another one that was like something Spire, I think.
Oh, Black Spire.
Black Spire, yeah.
I don't remember him in that book.
I didn't read any of the Galaxy's Edge stuff. So.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. There was Alphabet Squadron.
I think this was more. This was a comic, not book.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he has adventures with Han and Chewie.
Oh God, it's a comic book. Now I got to go find it.
Well, of course Debbie would know about that because Han's in it.
Of course, yeah.
I didn't know about it till I was doing research today. I was like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to read this comic. But yeah, explains why he has the Falcon on Bantu there at Galaxy's Edge, and that's about all I know about it because I haven't read the comic. But evidently, he's had some adventures with Han and Chewie. And of course, at this point in time, during I guess during the Mandoverse, and I think during the sequels, he's still on his own. He doesn't have a gang, but he has his own legit business, supposedly. Ohnaka Transports. But he pretty much ends up, working for whoever hires him, whether it's good guys or bad guys, which is typical.
Geez. It's way back, 2019.
Now that I'm thinking about it, thinking back, I kind of wish that in The Last Jedi they'd replaced DJ with Hondo. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I'll agree with you. Yes, I think it would have been a lot of fun. But then the way that DJ left, I would have hated Hondo.
Yeah, you're right about that.
They would have had to found some other way to finish.
Well, it could have still played out that way, except for instead of completely leaving, he comes back and gets him off the planet.
Yeah,
the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, the Star Destroyer. And still has the money that he just took from the Imperials. Because that's a Hondo thing. That's what he would do.
Yeah. You're definitely right about that.
So best of both worlds.
There was 2 books, the Flight of the Falcon series. I think there's 2 books. I only see 2.
Is it a book or comic series?
It looks like it's it looks like it's a 168 page. It looks like it's like a junior novel.
Oh, like a young adult?
Like a young adult novel, yeah. And the first one is Lando's Luck, and it's like Lando Solo, pre the movie Solo.
Mm.
And then you've got this one that's Pirate's Price. It's basically, it looks like these two books basically deal with young adult fantasy fiction. So so basically it looks like these books deal with mostly the Millennium Falcon. And because the Han Solo even here looks like a young Han Solo. So
Does he look like a young Harrison Ford, or does he look like Alden Ehrenreich?
no, he looks like Alden.
Alden.
I mean, it's obvious. It's a drawing. So, but the drawing looks like Alden.
Speaking of Alden, I saw a potential rumor the other day about him. It was either a Marvel show or a Star Wars project where he was going to be like play a character. I don't remember what it was.
I think that was Marvel.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it's like a one-off character. So
yeah, I think I've seen something on TikTok in relation to that.
Yeah,
but I was at work, so I wasn't able to really.
He's going to play Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie.
I'm so
Ironheart. It's Ironheart. He will reportedly.
Ironheart.
Let me tell you who he's playing. He is reportedly playing Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane.
I was going to say, is he a bad guy?
Right.
How do you know
That's what it was?
Guy?
Okay.
Because his name's Ezekiel, so he's either a bad guy or he's a Civil War general.
Yeah. So my mistake. I was thinking it was Star Wars for whatever reason.
Now, so hearing Ezekiel gives me flashbacks to Madam Web. And
God, I wish I hadn't.
That movie was just, but by the end of it, I was ready to gouge out my eyes. I was like, why have I subjected myself to this?
So,
yeah, it was oof.
Okay, Debbie, did we miss anything? Anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. Andrew, do we have fan questions tonight?
We do. We have
Awesome.
quite a bit, actually. So,
cool. Let's hear them.
First one comes from Big T and Lil T, a Star Wars podcast. The question is, when is Lucasfilm actually going to announce their film plans? The majority of all we get as fans comes from crumbs like Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, etc. When is Kathleen Kennedy going to announce this is what we are doing?
I don't think they will, because they've got slapped hard because they've announced these movies and then they either get delayed so much. It's kind of like Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, they announce these movies and then they don't happen.
Or they redesign it, turn it into something else.
Yeah, I think this time around, they are keeping it very close to the chest.
And I'm good with that, honestly. I'm fine
okay with that too.
Yeah.
I'd rather not know. I'd rather go into it not knowing, and then when it happens, I can be more surprised.
You know what, Biscardi? We'll cover that next week on MCU Monday. How about that?
No, we
it's
won't.
not possible, actually.
No, we won't.
But I mean, regarding Star Wars projects, I definitely agree that I'd much rather just have it be secret until the big announcement whenever the film's production is basically done.
Basically, the announcement is going to be, hey, look, here's a trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
we're filming. No,
it was like I was telling someone the other day. Right now, the Mando and Grogu movie is really the only movie right now that's kind of guaranteed to actually happen.
Yeah,
and that's because they're like currently filming.
Yeah. So.
Well, and here's the thing too: the less time that people have to think about a movie, the less we have to deal with people saying it's going to suck.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
I do not. I can't stand when someone says that. I'm like, we don't even know anything yet.
It's like all you know is who's going to be in it. Like, come on.
Yeah,
you know who's going to be in it? The title.
And especially if it's like a different director and writer, you don't know. It could be better. It could be worse, but it's hard to gauge.
Well, and then you get things too where it's like, okay, well, we know like with Rogue One and with Rogue One and Solo are very notable, to where it's like, okay, halfway through we fired the director and got another director, and they're like, oh well, this is obviously going to suck because now you're going to have two different directors, and we want the other director's cut, and blah 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 blah. And it's like you haven't even seen the movie once. How are you? You're already screaming for a director's cut, so.
Yeah, and look how it went. Rogue One is now one of the most like praised Star Wars movies and whatever.
Even though Cam doesn't like it,
I don't not like it. It's just not my favorite.
Okay,
I do like a lot about it though.
All right, all right. What's the next one, Andrew?
So our next one comes from Loki Jarson, and he's got a two-part question here. What movies are actually happening? What movies are never ever coming out?
Again,
so
I'd say probably. I don't know.
I would say probably, if I was to probably say guarantee like two that'll never happen, one would probably be the Rian Johnson trilogy, and the other would probably be the Taika Waititi trilogy.
Yeah. I'm holding out hope that the Rian Johnson trilogy will still happen, but I mean I really don't know that it will. And plus his schedule's busy with other stuff. But
and even Rogue Squadron, how many times has that been announced?
Announced
not happening.
Like
now we're doing it. So
I think right now the only ones that are guaranteed to happen as far as film goes, because we already got the announcement of season 3 of Visions coming out.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that are guaranteed are the trilogy that's being helmed by Simon Kinberg.
Oh yeah,
and the Rey film. But the main reason that I'm confident that the Rey film is definitely going to happen is because they put out such a huge announcement about it. And not just with who's directing and whatnot, but that they brought Daisy Ridley out on stage to hype the fans up, and the fans went nuts for it. So I think despite all the hiccups that it's had in production, because they lost their writer. I think they're currently looking for a new one. I think it's going to happen because they've made such a hype about it. They're committed to it now. They have to get it done.
It would be a horrible look for Lucasfilm if it doesn't happen.
Right.
Because we already have trust issues with them. That would really make it hard to trust any kind of new announcement.
And that's kind of a double-edged sword as well, because when you have this company that for all intents and purposes is obligated to get this project done, how is that going to affect the quality? So
right,
are they going to prove all the naysayers right, or are they going to prove all the naysayers wrong? I mean that's really, it's going to be a flip of the coin. So we'll see.
And part of me wonders when they announced that Rey could get a trilogy. I wonder if it's one of those. We'll see how the first movie does.
Yeah,
like we'll make the first one, and if it's received well and does well, we'll do the next one.
We'll do
versus them going, regardless of Rey. Like I mean, any trilogy,
sure.
Unless it's like episodic, I think they would see. Let's see how the first movie does, and then instead of we're just going to push out 3, because then they could also be better that way. I don't know. Have a plan in place, but.
All right. What's the next one?
So the next one comes from Dork Wars podcast. They ask, so Luke can see Obi-Wan as a Force ghost. Why didn't Obi-Wan appear to Luke and stop him from kissing his sister?
You know why? Here's why. Because Obi-Wan was hanging out on Dagobah with Yoda, and Yoda's watching Luke through the Force as well. And Obi-Wan goes, dude, watch this. This is gonna be great. Watch this. Watch what he's about to do.
That's funny.
Somewhat hard
there's-
I find this.
I'm shocked there isn't like if there is maybe there is if there's not like a Family Guy skit of that. Somewhere.
Yeah, there
that
was.
just has Oh, there was.
Because Family Guy did the original trilogy, and the last one was "It's a Trap," and he says Chris being Luke and Lois being Leia, he says, "Leia, you're my sister," and she goes, "I know. Somehow I've always known." And he goes, "Wow, you even knew when you kissed me?" And she says, "Well, yeah, I'm from Alderaan. It's kind of like the Arkansas of the universe."
Oh man, that's funny.
So yeah, it's been done.
I was thinking that as soon as you were saying that, I was like, "There's got to be Family Guy." All right, our next
What's
one
next?
comes from Phil at the movies. He asks, "Was Palpatine a master tactician, or was he merely a great improviser?"
Why not both?
Both.
I think he was both, and two. I mean, I think he had his because he said many times everything is going as I have foreseen it. So he had the ability to look into the future and know.
I wonder if like prequel trilogy him was more on the improvising side of things, and then
I
once
don't
you get
think
to the
so.
original trilogy's tactician.
No,
No,
he was
because-
2 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
He
That's
was
true. Yeah.
he knew
He
how
was- he was-
he had his minions in place to be able to
Yeah.
manipulate
Heck,
senators
that's
and
true.
whatnot.
I mean, he knew what he was doing with Anakin in the Phantom Menace. We will
he said.
watch
He
your career
said.
with great interest. That's right. Yeah.
He said at the end of episode 2, he says, that Dooku lands, and he's like, "Yeah, good news, my master. War has begun. Excellent, excellent." It's like this is going exactly the way it needs to go. Yeah, I think he was.
Think more tactician with a little bit of improv.
Maybe, but
I think more tactician.
I think he was so in tune with the Force to where he's like, I think he was so in tune with the Force to where he's like, okay, this is how it's going to happen. Now, here's what I need to do to make it happen that way. Or if I need it to happen a different way, here's what I need to do to change the outcome.
He's basically the Paul Atreides of Star Wars.
So
yeah, that's true.
Our enemies are all around us, but I do see a narrow way through.
So there you go. What's next?
Next one comes from Spencer. He says or asks, since next week is Thanksgiving, who would you invite from the Star Wars universe, and what food would you serve or ask them to bring from their universe?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that for a second.
Debbie wants Han Solo.
Yes.
I'm going to answer for her.
And she will cook for him.
I want.
There will be no cooking. There will be other plans.
Just heat up.
Debbie's
different kind of. I will say something.
Sweet.
All right, I'm gonna.
It'll be a spicy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think if I should say something, and I'm like, I don't.
I've got
someone put a "Not Safe for Kids" banner up here or something.
I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I've got a shotgun full of stuff I could throw out there, but I'm not going to because, man.
I know. I almost said something. I'm like,
I've got 2 or 3 things that's going through my head, and I'm like, geez, I'm having dirty thoughts over here. I need to stop that.
I need to go down to the river and cleanse myself.
Yeah, I need to go be rebaptized again. So,
and that goes for Obi-Wan and young Obi-Wan.
Young Obi-Wan.
And Anakin.
And Anakin. All right.
Well, how young are we talking with Anakin?
Oh, she's going to go all 3 at once?
All 3.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the Penthouse Forum.
This was supposed to be a fun question, and it went, wow.
It is a fun question.
Yeah. Well,
subscribe to Debbie's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm trying to
moving
think
on.
though.
All right, moving along.
Well, I gotta pick a we gotta pick a character.
I don't know.
I mean, that's
Hmm.
You know what? If I knew, maybe Thrawn. I would just love to talk with Thrawn.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, we'll pretend I'm safe. I'd like to have a conversation with him.
Well, if Debbie's gonna have Obi-Wan and Anakin and
Maybe
Han
Leia. I'll take
Solo,
Leia.
I'm gonna
I'll take
have
Leia.
Leia and Rey and Padme all at once.
I call Attack of the Clones Padme. All right.
I get Return of the Jedi Leia, like Jabba's palace
Oh.
Leia.
I get Padme when she's telling Anakin they can't be together, but she picked the outfit of like we're gonna be together.
Yeah, we can never be together, even though I'm dressed like this. Come get some, big boy.
And I would just serve them. I'd serve them barbecue. All right. I don't know the foods well enough from everywhere, but I'll. They're coming to Texas. They get some barbecue. All right. They're never gonna want to leave.
Mm-mm.
But it's got to be from one of those barbecue places where you're like, is this a house? Is this place even open? That's a good barbecue.
Like a
All
shed.
right.
Yes. We got it.
That's where the good barbecue is. All right.
It's got a tin roof, steam coming out of
Yeah.
a chimney.
You don't know if they're
Exactly.
making barbecue or moonshine.
Yeah.
That's the good barbecue there.
All right. What's next?
All right. Our final question comes from Lamont English, and he wanted to know what my ranking of the films were from least favorite to favorite. So I'll just run through those real quick. And there's not really a Star Wars movie that I absolutely dislike. I mean, there's some that I don't like as much as others, but I usually can find something to like in all of them. So at the bottom, I have the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, we're counting that.
Then
one.
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just gonna say we're counting that one too. Okay, I wasn't even thinking about that one, but okay.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw it in there. And then I have Attack of the Clones, Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi, Phantom Menace, Force Awakens, Solo, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Star Wars, Empire, and then Revenge of the Sith.
No, it's Clone Wars, Rise of Skywalker, Phantom Menace. Gosh, Attack of the Clones. No. That's a tough one. I mean, I could start from the top and go Empire, Sith, Rogue One, A New Hope, probably Jedi, and then you can fill in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Just either Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Solo. Those three kind of. It depends on my mood.
I have several of those where I flip. It depends on the day.
It depends on the day of the week.
Yeah, but I want to do another rewatch because I haven't done a full rewatch in a while and see if my ranking changes.
I've got 2 days off coming up next week. Maybe I can. That's a good idea.
Gee, dude, 11 movies in 2 days? You're not getting up.
That's not that bad. 11 movies and 11 movies is like 30 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're doing nothing but watching Star Wars.
Yes.
Nothing. Which is actually that's not a bad thing. Why am I downplaying that?
I will watch them chronologically and not release order, just because I've seen them all, so I don't have to worry about
surprises,
machete orders and things.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Just watch them and enjoy the story.
Well, while you guys were naming off your lists, I wrote mine down so that way I wouldn't forget. My bottom is Clone Wars, then Attack of the Clones, then The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
I was gonna say there's those three seem to be repeating.
Yeah. And then Rogue One, then Solo, then The Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, Empire, and then The Last Jedi at the top.
Nice.
Debbie.
Mine pretty well matches with Dave's.
Okay, cool. See, Debbie and I are.
Debbie's like, hell, I don't remember.
I'm too tired to even try and think that. So
I didn't write this in my notes, guys. You got to leave me alone.
Debbie and I are on the same
prepared.
page,
But
all
I'd
good.
have to go with pretty much what Dave said. So
Yeah, like I said, I had like my core 3 or 4 movies that I'm changing them. That it's like I like them all pretty close. That it's hard to almost put one above the other. But you
it's
got
almost
to,
like
so,
it's almost like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch Star Wars, and then I'm like, which one? And I have a hard time thinking, which one do I want to watch? Which one? How do I want to pollute my mind today?
Usually what I do then, because I end up taking longer to pick a Star Wars movie or a movie in general than watching it, I'll just put the numbers on like a wheel and spin it.
Oh,
and then whatever it
you do a
lands on, I'm
random
like,
number
all right,
generator.
That's a good way to do
yeah.
it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, that's what I'm watching. Because otherwise,
do
I'm
like
going
one
to
of
spend the
those,
next 2 hours going, I can watch that. Oh, but I want to watch that one. I can do that one. So,
Yeah, you can do like one of those like random number generators on your phone or something.
yeah, you could just be like, Siri or Google, pick a number between 1 through whatever. And
Yeah. So, all right. Do we have any other ones? Is that it?
does it.
That
Yep.
does it.
Hoorah.
All right. Shameless plugs. What do we got tonight, Debbie?
tomorrow night I will be over on the Geek the Geek and I podcast. We're continuing with Star Trek, the original series. And we are on the episode The Squire of Gothas. Not one of my favorites. But Saturday we have the
I don't
Geek
recognize
Gauntlet.
that one.
He's in the main character is basically a prequel to Q.
Oh, okay.
So Geek Gauntlet on Saturday. Wait, don't we have is that anime show dropping tomorrow?
Yeah, this Friday, I believe.
Okay, animes or snack Anna, I don't know.
Snackame. I think it's like
with these names and I
Snackame.
can't pronounce them, and
I think
it's
it's
anime
Snackame.
and Japanese snacks. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And they're looking at a trailer for something new on Netflix,
Yeah.
right?
I'm pretty sure that's what. Yeah.
Saturday Geek Gauntlet, they talk about everything. Monday we are Daredevil season 3.
Oh, I thought we were doing Madam Web. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Debbie almost
Yes,
was
you're
like,
right.
had a heart attack.
Debbie's trying to kill me through the monitor right now.
She's gonna force choke you.
She's
You
force
gotta be
choking
careful.
me through the monitor, and I can feel it. She's just
Tuesday, I don't know if there's a Sith Dominion or not. They were kind of wishy-washy on it, so I don't know.
being that
And
it's
then-
a holiday.
So War of the Stars, they may be dropping an episode Wednesday. We are not doing anything Thursday because I'll be on the couch with my expanded sweatpants.
I'll be passed out.
Enjoying the effects of the tryptophan and the turkey. Yes.
Snuggling up next to her Han Solo body pillow.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Drooling.
She just looks at him like, was it good for you?
Wow.
Oh Lord.
Debbie's like, that sure tasted good.
To be clear, we're still talking about Thanksgiving dinner, damn it.
Yeah. You've got to clarify on that one, Andy. Come on now. We're talking about
Oh,
turkey,
boy.
not Han Solo.
Oh man. So
Cam, do you have anything shameless plug wise?
At the moment, no, not really. I had put this question out a couple of weeks ago, back when I was still sick, asking people if they wanted to participate in a stream similar to this, where we discuss like a movie of the week. And I'm going to talk to you guys about it after the stream ends, because I have a few movies on the list that I want to run by you and see if you'd be interested in coming on with me about it.
Cool.
Sure.
Awesome. Andrew, shameless plugs. You got anything?
Nope.
Andrew's normal.
I had something cool happen though. All right, I hadn't talked about it. All right, my ego, I controlled it.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. But boost your ego,
all right,
just for a minute.
So
I'll allow it.
The official Penguin Twitter X account put out a promotional video for the series, like post the series is over, and they featured one of my reviews in the video. So
that's
my
awesome.
15 seconds of fame. Yeah, they reached out to me, were like, "We like this post, can we use it?" And I was like, "Sure."
Heck yeah! Gosh.
So I thought it was pretty cool. I've peaked. That is a highlight of my career at the moment.
Wow.
So, yep. So there you go.
I've peaked until I do it again.
Exactly. Yeah. Until another show asks me, and before you know it, I'm working. It's job offers and everything. I've had to decline a lot of offers. All right.
Well, there you go.
So.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving with all of your family members and loved ones, or if you don't have loved ones and family members, I hope you enjoy your 2 days off and Black Friday and eating lots of turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and whatever else. Eat till you get sick, because it's the holidays and calories don't count. We will see you Thursday after next right here on the Cantina Happy Hour. Y'all have a great 2 weeks, and may the force be with you all.
That sucked. I can't believe the Gathering Shadow was Senate redistricting.
Worst cosmic wars ever. I will only see it 3 more times.